Alright, welcome to Universal Paper Clips. In this video, you can make paper clips by clicking. So it's a clicker game. But you have to sell the paper clips. So I've got 26 paper clips, and people are not really buying them at 25 cents per paper clip. But if I lower the price, then people will be more likely to buy them, and then I can get more paper clips. So it's like an economics thing, I guess. I don't really know. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna click as much as I can on the paper clips and see what happens. It seems like it's kind of... Again, I mentioned this game briefly, but I haven't actually played it until today. Just reading what's going on here, it seems like it's about like supply and demand, market, stuff like that. But like, who actually needs this many paper clips? I don't know. Let's make some auto clippers. They're gonna make paper clips for us. And now we're paper clipping infinite. I mean, we're already selling so many paper clips, but we're making more, right? Like, it seems to be going up faster than it goes down. I mean, let's get the public demand as high as we can, and then, like... I mean, 8 cents per paperclip sounds like a lot. Am I wrong there? I could be wrong. I've never really bought paper clips. I'm not much of a, like, arts and crafts kind of person. What is this wire? I'm running out of wire to make the paper clips out of. That seems like a bad thing. Like, it seems like the game could end if I do that wrong. Right? I need to make sure that I get to $20 here, or it's like over, right? Wait, the cost of the wire is going up. How am I supposed to buy the wire? Do I not need to? Do I not need to buy wire? Are we good? There we go. I just bought more wire. I hope that's good enough for now. I've got the Kevin MacLeod playlist on. So this is actually kind of interesting. It's a song called Arcadia, which you'll remember if you've watched any like Yogscast videos and stuff. Like, they use this song a lot. It's kind of interesting. There's a baby metal song called Arcadia, which is distinctly not called Arcadia. A lot of people call it Arcadia, but here's the thing. They say in the song the name of the song, and they say Arcadia. And who am I to, like, question the artist on that one, right? I mean, this seems to be going really well for us. The paperclip business is booming. As long as the public demand is steady at like 100%, it seems pretty like good. I see the marketing here. I'm probably going to want to market my product so that I can get the public demand up, because the better the public demand is, the more I can sell it for, right? This is a good song called Hitman. You'll remember this from loads of Yogscast videos if you were a fan of Yogscast at any point. In a previous video, I talked about like storytelling through Minecraft and like the kind of narrative that people were telling, like Yogscast and stuff. I did a presentation on that amongst my friends and stuff, and it seems like people found it kind of interesting, which I was surprised by. I thought it'd be kind of boring, but I think people are kind of into it. Like, that's the weird part, is that like stories told through Minecraft, even if they're kind of average stories or poorly written a lot of the time, people are kind of into them, and I think they have that appeal of like the personality, right? People are always like, oh, I don't want Chris Pratt to be Mario. But then if Simon Lane and Lewis Brindley are telling an otherwise boring story, you're probably going to be a lot more into it than if it was just a random like movie, right? Like, I feel like the story of Jaffa Factory is not nearly as appealing if you take out the personalities. And it's not just because they're funny, it's because they have that star power, right? Like, if they were just as funny, but they were different people, I think it would affect, like, the popularity quite significantly. I don't know if it would make the product worse. I would find it hard to believe that it makes the product worse, but I don't know. It is kind of interesting. We're almost at that marketing stuff. I'm increasing the price per clip slightly just because I think that might help me get there faster. I mean, it would be interesting to, like, make paper clips manually, but at this point my unsold inventory is not going down, so I don't really need to, which is a nice position to be in. It's kind of this whole thing of, like, you profit a lot more when you do less work, right? Like, if you can put yourself in the position of doing less work, then you can benefit from that by getting more stuff for it. So we could improve the auto clippers, or we could calculate the average revenue per second. I don't see how that would help, so... Oh, no, that would help, because then I'd be able to, like... So my revenue per second is 84 cents this way, but it goes up if I lower the price. Oh, but it goes dramatically down when my unsold inventory reaches. So I need more auto clippers to make up for it. Like, I can't sustain that. Oh, this is interesting. +1 trust at 5,000 clips. Should I put it into processors or memory? Does memory increase the capacity of the operations? Because I want that. Yeah, that seems better. It's interesting how, like, computational resources got involved. I find this to be quite a fascinating game because, like, it's not that it's just one of these games like Beltmatic, right? Beltmatic took games like Satisfactory and Factorio and basically broke them into their finest components, which is it's just moving numbers around the screen and changing the, like, number that's on display. This is a game that is purely just a calculator, right? It is just numbers doing stuff, but it's interesting and engaging in a kind of way, like, but the optimization task is not really that, from what I can tell, the optimization task is not really that difficult. It's just like you listen to what the numbers tell you and then you make a profit out of it. Like, there's no way to be bad at this. You would rather have to try quite hard. I feel like I'm doing what is intuitive to me and it's working out. Whereas, like, the thing I get, there's a lot of games like this where you have to optimize for certain things and there's a lot of moving parts and stuff, and I always get worried that it's never going to be optimized enough, right? And I'm not going to be good enough to optimize it. But in this case, I'm just doing what is intuitive to me, and I'm getting a result here, right? Like, I'm making some serious dough, which to me is awesome. We'll get another processor, we'll get more operations that way, although we can't get to even better auto clippers until we get to 8,000 clips. So I would rather like to have more auto clippers so we can get there faster. And at this point, I'm making enough money that we can get some serious auto clipping going on here. It seems like I make the most money per second at lower prices per clip, which is kind of interesting. Like, I get why, because you're selling more quickly, but at the same time, you'd think it would be a balancing act, but when they're all being sold at a penny each, that is seemingly giving me more revenue per second than... I mean, imagine this with like competing businesses as a mechanic, and you have to do like destroyer pricing to try and like put other companies out of business. I know that that's like illegal, but it would be a video game, so it would be fine, I think. It seems like we can sit rather comfortably at 0.06, but 0.05 does have me going down quite consistently. Interesting. The thing is, it has public demand, but it never has public like need. Like, I guess if you have a need for the product, then the demand goes up, right? But like, the demand doesn't seem at all influenced by the demand doesn't seem at all influenced by the supply. Like, the demand doesn't go down with the more paper clips I sell, but you'd expect once people buy X amount of paper clips that they don't actually need more. Like, it's not like you can sell infinity paper clips no matter what the price is. Because realistically, you only need so many paper clips, right? It is interesting. I really liked watching those like trading videos when I was a kid. People who trade from like a paper clip up to something extremely expensive. It's like impressive, right? There's a lot in that. It's kind of interesting to watch, at least. The system of like capital and buying stuff is not nearly as interesting as trading and bartering, which is kind of one of the fun parts about like trading card games, right? Is that like it's this kind of secondary economy to the real one, and you can trade the cards. Like, it's not all about you know, the money and stuff, and I see that a lot more with Pokemon, right? People in Magic like to play the game, but people in the Pokemon trading card game, they just like opening packs and selling cards. PSA grading is huge amongst Pokemon fans, right? I think it's really fun to watch. I would never get into it myself. Like, to me it seems ridiculous. Like, actually, I couldn't imagine spending hundreds of pounds on a graded piece of cardboard, but I understand why people do it. I'm not sitting here and saying like, oh, these people are ridiculous or they're making a huge mistake. Like, people do profit immensely off of it sometimes. So it's not like an objectively terrible decision, but it is something that like you should not speculate on. It's basically a more complicated form of gambling. But it is kind of fun to watch. There's this guy on TikTok, Coop's Collection or something. He makes videos and he gives out cards to kids and stuff, and it's always kind of a fun watch. He's like, "Hey, do you have a favorite Pokemon card?" And they're like, "I want a PSA 10 Shadowless Charizard," and they're like, "First edition." I don't know. It's kind of funny. Maybe I should invest in some marketing, or maybe I should end the video. I like the sound of that second one.